Knowledge is the small picture, wisdom is the large one. Let's jump into these charts. Stocks are pretty much flat. Bonds are rocketing down over 1.5%, which is great because we are short bonds. Gold is up, Bitcoin is down. I'm going to try to do this broadcast for you today a little faster than usual. I'm traveling, heading out of the country. I'm going to be in Italy for the next week, but I will be bringing you the show as I always do, as long as the technology is going to allow me. And Italy has great Wi-Fi, so I should be good to go. Let's jump into these charts. The S&P just about flat, 0.01% up for the day. It's been a nice up week this week. You can see volume not so high and just one day to go. First day of the latest 2-day candle, volume is light too. Below average both in the morning and afternoon. You can see where the S&P jumped up in the morning and then pulled back in the afternoon to be just about flat for the day. But things continuing to move up, as I keep telling you guys and have said, with the election coming. Early voting just started in my state today, and lots of people heading to the polls immediately. So we'll see how that affects markets when we get to election day, or actually the day after. Let's look at the NASDAQ and where it is now. Of course, the NASDAQ topped, unlike the S&P, which things have already moved higher than the prior top. But here back on the 8th of July, NASDAQ seems to be working its way up toward it. Hasn't gotten there yet. It's up 0.07% for the day. Again, you can see how weak the volume is for the week. I don't know if the 2-day is going to get to average volume. It's a spinning top right now, up in the morning, pulling back in the afternoon. But the 2-day and the half-day and the weekly are still above the weekly trend line, just like on the S&P. Now let's talk about what I want to talk about, because we are in this down trade here. Hope you guys are doing this practice trade with us. We went short when bonds rolled over. This has been good to us. We already sold the first half of our practice trade, and we're letting the rest of it ride. And again, going down 1.58% for the day is nice. I talked about this yesterday, how over the past 2 days things were moving up and looked like they were stopping on the weekly trend line, and they did. They hammered down in the morning and a little further down in the afternoon. That's good to see. Gold up 0.60%. It's the big mover today as far as our 5 charts go. 0.60%, 0.6%. May get up to average volume this week. We're where we were at the end of last week. We'll see how Friday goes. And we see that things are moving higher. Gold just keeps on ticking up. It had slowed down for 3 weeks, but this week going to a higher high. And over the last, 3-day candle, well, 2.5 3-day candles, gold has just been pumping up in the morning. Doesn't look like it got quite as high in the afternoon, but a decent move on gold. Now, lastly, Bitcoin pulling back some. I mean, again, we had 4 days of strong up movement. That started, of course, last Friday in the morning and really pounded up on Monday morning, and then just continued to track up. But over the course of the day, on Thursday, things, pulling off. And again, volume was low over the course of the day, particularly in the afternoon, down 1.41%. So we'll see where that takes us. Patreon members, I've already picked out and already put up on the Patreon page weekly vertical crossovers for the week. There's some both going long and going short. Please check those out. And again, we always love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.